Are you all ready now? Okay, let's see if you're ready. Okay, let's do this. I want you to substitute the appropriate word on the blanks to spell what each picture represents. Are you ready? Okay. Okay, go. What's the message? Okay, raise your hand if you know the entire. On math. Parang kulang po yun. On learning math. Kulang ka. Konti na lang. Oops. Narinig ko na.
On teaching reading and learning math.
Sobra-sobra ka naman. Saan mo kinuha yan? Advance ka masyado. Okay. Go. On. What is this? T. So, on teaching. Very good. Nasaan ang reading? Tapos na tayo sa reading. Math na tayo. Okay. Okay. So there you have it. So there. Did you get that? We know that now. Because that is what we will talk about for the rest of this day. On teaching and learning mathematics, developing and assessing math skills. So outline of the session, this is what we want to accomplish today. First, we would like to answer how do the K-3 children learn math? Okay? And then, what do they have to learn in math? So we will try to look at the content, the standards, the content, and the content of the curriculum, and then the competencies, and how do we teach and assess mathematics skills. So that will be the outline. So, a quick reflection for everyone. All right. So, reflection. What is the way to learn math concepts? Isip lang po. And I have some more questions for you. So, how do kids really learn math? I'd like you to think and answer while I read. Is math a set of answers to questions? Or is math a process of investigation and exploration? Are kids allowed to actively work with materials and ideas? Is short-term success the goal in our math classes, or do we aim for long-term understanding? Other questions. Is there much rote learning involved? Are we allowing kids to think and figure things out on their own? Is the goal for future application, or is our purpose immediate application? Are the steps in solving specified by the teacher? Or are the students also allowed to discover the steps? Okay, so these are some things that we have to think about. Why? Because our answers here will dictate how we teach. Is that right? If I believe that it should be learning is through rote, that's how I will teach. I will not allow them to explore, to discover. Okay, so I will now go very briefly and hopefully quickly to talk about theories. Some of these you know, so I think I have to go quickly because this will be a refresher with implications for math instruction. What are these three big topics? First, learning is action. Do you agree? Next, learning is reaction. Learning is a process. Okay, so let's start with learning is action. We have here the cognitive constructivist view. Do you know Bruner? Friend nyo na ba siya sa FB? Have you heard about him? Okay, Bruner. The other figure I have here, I'm sure you know very well. But let's talk a bit about Bruner. Because he is known for his modes of reality, which is very related to how children learn. Because what does he say? He says that there are three modes of reality. What's the first? Anyone? He says that the first mode is read. What does it say? Read na lang nga eh. Read. Nandyan na po. Enactive. What is the root word of enactive? Root. Act. The root. Okay, act. So what Bruner is saying here, the first mode is we act. We act on reality so that we learn. Okay? So it has to be something very, very concrete. That is enactive. What is the second mode according to Bruner? Or let me just show you. When we act on things, we need to have varied materials in the classroom. They can be inexpensive materials. As I said, basurera dapat ang teacher. Tama? Kasi kahit ano pwedeng may gamit. Okay. So, what is the second mode? From enactive, we act on things. Next is iconic. You know icons. What are icons? They are pictures. So after acting on things, the next mode that children would learn would be through pictures. All right? Because that picture stands for a concept before they go and understand symbolic. What's symbolic? Letters are symbolic. Numbers are symbolic. Do you agree? So what this is simply telling us, it has something to do not just with math, also with teaching, reading. What does it say? Let's review first. Children need concrete materials to act on them before they can move on to pictures to represent those concrete materials, before they can move on to something abstract. Numerals are abstract. I also believe that this works not just for children. It works also for me as an adult. That's how I learn. I need to work on something very concrete. I need to act before I can remember something. Okay? Before pictures can help me understand, I need to act. Okay? And then, symbolic. All right. Any questions there? Very simple, right? Simple naman, ano? Now, I just like to include this because this is where the gap is, I think. You tell me if I'm correct or not. Let's say this is the concrete. This is the inactive stage. Totoong kotse ang gagamitin ko. Totoong lapis, totoong notebook. Yun ang aming bibilangin, paghahambingin. Pagkatapos, pupunta na ako sa larawan. Yun na yung, ano ng mode yun? Inactive, tapos iconic. Tapos, pupunta na tayo, itong 2 plus 1 abstract. Pero sinasabi dito sa diagram na to, na meron pa daw semi-abstract. Na ang halimbawa dito ay ang paggamit halimbawa ng tally marks. Ako naniniwala ako dito. Kasi may ibang bata na estudyante ko na hindi agad kaya tong gawin ng walang mental, ng walang concrete representation. Do you agree? Meron ako kahit anong gawin ko, yung mga mental math na yan. Maganda yan kung handa sila. Dahil kahit anong gawin ko dun sa mga estudyante kong ipa-mental math, pag hindi sila handa, wala. Hindi nila natatandaan. Okay? So there. So let me just include now an example. Okay, there is this boy who I'm teaching to add more than 10. Sums more than 10. Okay, so I think we have the same strategy. 9 plus 5, how do you teach children how to add 9 plus 5? Halimbawa, wala kayong ibang gamit. Walang concrete materials dyan. Ayun, eksakto. Pareho tayo ng pagturo. Pakilakas na lang.
Yung higher number po, nasa utak or nasa isip lang nila. Yung smaller numbers, yung sa fingers, sa kaya nilang basahin. And then, ididagdag na. 9, ano yung nasa utak nyo? 9, ilang yung nasa kamay nyo? 5. So, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 9 plus 5 is 14.
Tama? Ginagawa niya yon. Ako ginagawa ko yun eh. Tingin ko ang simple-simple nun. 9 in my mind, then count up. Okay, so itong batang to, tinuturuan ko. With action pa kami. So, sabi ko, 9 plus 5. What do you do with the higher number 9? Put it in your mind. May ganun ba kami? 9 plus 5. Show it with your fingers. Count up. And then presentation ako. Presentation, modeling, etc. Okay? And then this boy, I gave another example. Okay, 8 plus 8. 8. Ang tagal. Sabi ko, hello, nag-iisip ka ba? Okay. 8, what will we do? Tapos niya, okay, put it in your mind. Okay, put it in your mind. Show with your fingers. Tapos nakaganyan siya. Ang tagal-tagal, nakaganyan lang. Ko, hello, are you thinking? Tapos niya, hindi ko po kasi talaga makita saan napunta yung 8 kanina. Kaya hindi siya maka 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, anak ko yon. Sinututor ko. Mama Nong, nasan ba nagpunta? Ba't hindi ko talaga mahanap? So again, that taught me something very important. As I have been mentioning yesterday, the replies of my students, my children, teach me how to teach. So, for him, that's not going to work. So, sige. Wag na tayo mag-put it in your mind kasi wala ka palang mind. Hindi ba? Sabi ko, let's not put it in your mind. Let's try to tally, draw. What do you like to draw? Ayun, this is a perfect example. The sticks here. This helped him so that he does not have to pause for long minutes. Why? Because he is not ready for that abstract thing which I wanted him to do. And we will understand later why. Okay. So, also, learning is action. And we go back to the cognitive constructivist theory. A figure you already know? Sino to? Vygotsky. You are familiar with him? And what do you remember with him? ZPD, or the zone of proximal development. Vygotsky. Okay? So, we talked about him already yesterday. So, this is just a refresher. It's the part where the child cannot solve a problem alone. So, he would need the assistance of knowledgeable, not necessarily as. It can be the peers. They can work it out. They can figure it out. Okay, so actually, they come at the lower limit. Like, I guess, in any seminar, even if I attend something like this, I go there day one, I'm at my lower limit. And then, when I leave, on the last day, I reach my upper limit. How did I reach it? Because there's a facilitator, there are my classmates, my co-participants. So you get to your higher limit. How? When you do group work, you understand better what we're talking about, right? That clarifies things when we discuss. So that is the zone of proximal development. That's why it's a scaffold. This is a scaffold, correct? That is what a scaffold does, to assist. Okay, so it's the assistance provided by more competent peers or adults. So I'll have a break for you without you going out. Okay, let's have a story. Okay, but more for me. I will no longer, okay, I have to read it. Okay. More for me. Monty jumped right out of bed. I want breakfast, lots, he said. He quickly dressed. He could not wait to find out what would fill his plate. Monty said, "Is that my toast? There's just one slice. I want the most. More, more, more. I want a lot." He pushed away the plate he got. His sister hid behind the door. She neatly cut the toast in 4. "Now look," she said, "you have a lot." So that's what Monty thought he got. Then Monty said, "What's in my cup? I'll swallow once and drink this up." "More, more, more. I want a lot." He pushed away the cup he got. His sister poured out every drop and filled the thin glass to the top. "Now look," she said, "you have a lot." So that's what Monty thought he got. Monty said, "I see 4 chunks. I like to have a lot more hunks." "More, more, more. I want." He pushed away the bowl. His sister slowly shook her head. She chopped the chunks to bits instead. Now look, she said, you have. So that's what Monty thought. Then Monty frowned and banged his spoon. My cereal will be gone too soon. What do you think will the sister do this time? What do you think? Guess. Powder? Ano? Powder ba? Powder the cereal? Put rice? Pulverize. Powder. Parang pulverize. Any other guess? What do you think will sister do? Put in smaller bowls. Any other guess? Maybe sister will eat it. Okay. Okay, let us see what will sister do. His sister did not pour or slice. She scooped out half and served him twice. Now look, she said, you have a lot. So that's what Monty thought he got. When Monty's breakfast reached an end, his sister said, no more pretend. I'll give you lots since that's your wish. She gave him every dirty dish. Then Monty cried, this tax too high. His sister grinned and helped him dry. Okay, so let's think back. Why does the character say more for me? What does he want more of? A lot of what? Food. What grade is he in? What's his age? Guess. 5. Any other guess? 7? 4? 6? Okay, so we will find out as we discuss the characteristics of children. Okay. Why do you say that he is maybe 4, 5, 6, or 7? What are his characteristics, what you saw in that story? Sige. Demanding. Ano pa po? What else are his characteristics there? More for himself. What else? Selfish? No contentment? I see you smiling when the sister was cutting into 4. When the sister was pouring into a tall glass. Why? What was his characteristic, Monty? He does not have the
idea of proportion.
Okay. Do you agree? In other words, uto-uto siya? Okay, let us see now. Okay. So, we want to look at Piaget's stages, actually, which that story really shows. That story shows a particular child in one of those stages. You remember? I'm sure you know Piaget, correct? He's your FB friend? Okay. So you know him better than Bruner, better than Vygotsky. Okay, he is more popular. Okay, so he had or presented to us the 4 stages of cognitive development. The first stage is sensory motor. We will not talk about that. That's 0 to 2 years old. Okay, wherein he says that there should be actions on objects. Pre-operations is 2 to around 6 or 7. Pre-operations wherein the child would need to do a lot of actions on reality. Take note. Try to compare it with Bruner. Remember his stages? Enactive, iconic, and symbolic. Tignan nyo kung meron siyang pagkakahawig. Can we align the two? All right. And then, concrete operations would be at the elementary years, around 7 and up. And then, formal operations would be in the high school years, 12 and beyond. Okay, now let's look at the characteristics of pre-operations. First, egocentrism. What does that mean? The child's vocabulary is me, mine, I. It doesn't mean, although it's not equated to selfishness. It's different. Because the egocentrism means that he is capable only of thinking, viewing things from his perspective, and he cannot believe that there is another perspective. Okay? Example, it's the birthday of, for example, it's my birthday. So, for example, my husband will bring my son to the mall. Birthday ni Mami, bilan mo na nga gift si Mami. Ano kaya ang bibili niyang regalo sa akin kung siya ay 5 years old, or 4 years old, or 6 years old? Saan niyang dadaling section si Daddy para magdala ng regalo sa akin? Tama, sa toy section siya pupunta. Hindi siya sa ladies section pupunta. Pupunta siya sa toy section, tapos pipili siya doon, at sigurado ko, at nangyari ito, may regalo akong napakagandang pullback car. Okay? Sabi niya, Daddy, I like this. I'm sure Mommy will like this. That is egocentrism. I understand things from my own perspective only. Not because sometimes we understand it, ay, bumili ka ng regalo para sa sarili mo. Parang selfish, di ba? But what it really means at that stage is that egocentrism is just really the lack of ability to see other people's perspective. Like in the example of, another example, my daughter has a new dress. So, landline, she called up her Lola, Lola, you know, ang ganda-ganda po ng bago kong damit. O sige, tignan mo, Lola. O, tapos gumaganon-ganon pa siya. Nasa telepono siya. So, she understands things from her perspective. Kaya po mahirap magpaliwanag sa ganong edad. Kahit anong gawin mo, hindi pa nila kaya. Sasabihin mo, hindi mo man nakita, nasaktan mo siya, hindi mo naramdaman kung anong sakit ang ginawa mo sa kanya. Ang sagot, hindi. Totoo nga, hindi. Kaya mahirap yung pipilitin mo yung isang bata, lalo kung siya yung umiiyak o ano. Nakita mo ba ang naramdaman niya? Hindi. Talagang hindi. Okay. Egocentrism. And you can see that in Monty, right? He is only thinking of his perspective. I want more, I want more, I want more. Hindi ibig sabihin masiba siya, pero pwede ring masiba siya. Okay, now, centration. What's the root word? Centered. Monty exhibited that. He was centered. That's why he was happy with the slices. He was centered. That's why he was happy with the tall glass. Let's see where he was centered. Let's look at the one piece of toast. Sister sliced it into 4. And he was happy. What did he see? The 4. He did not see the size. He is centered only on the quantity, and he neglected the size. Because at that age, they cannot manage more than one attribute. They can only focus, they can only center on one attribute at a time. In the same manner, in the same example of the glass, you remember the glass? Sister poured in a taller glass. So para sa kanya, yehey! Ang dami-dami! Hindi niya nakita? Payat. He did not look at the diameter of the glass because, again, he is centered only on one attribute. Okay. What else did Monty exhibit? Irreversible thought. What is irreversible thought? If sister poured that, let's look at this. I have this picture. If sister poured that in front of Monty, okay, and Monty really saw that it was poured, everything, into this tall glass or cylinder, he will still say it has more because his thinking is irreversible. What does it mean? He cannot mentally reverse what happened. What he can see only is the now, the tall liquid. Okay, so Monty's characteristic is also of irreversible thought. Okay? Now, or static thought. Now, let's look here. I have more. So we have egocentrism, centration, irreversible thought. Intuitive thought also is a characteristic of that age. What is intuitive? 4 to 7 years old. That's the time when they ask a lot of whys. Correct? They have so much knowledge, they have so much information, and all they want to know is how come? Why? Why? So they cannot manage, and that is what you call intuitive thought. Their understanding of things is only intuitive. And Monty also lacks conservation. Okay, what does conservation here mean in Piaget's terms? When he says that this tall glasses more than the other one, he lacks conservation of liquid. You get it? In the toast, that is conservation of number. You get it? So, a child at that stage cannot conserve. Why? Because he cannot compensate. Naintindihan niyo yon? Kapag po dito, here, a child 7 years old and above will not act like Monty. Yung anak ko, kung siya ay 7 taon, sasabi niya, Mami, niloloko mo ba ako? Mami naman, ano ka ba? Because he already compensates. He sees that, maliit naman, 4 nga, maliit naman. Oo nga, matangkad nga, payat naman yung baso. That is compensation. Okay. So that Monty cannot conserve yet. What is class inclusion? At this stage, well, it's not evident in the story, but what is class inclusion? Let's say I showed a child 5, 6 years old a picture of dogs and cats. Okay? 5 dogs, 3 cats. Okay. And then I tell him, which is more? So, pwede niyang sagutin kung dogs o cats. Pero pag tinanong ko, which is more? The dogs or the animals? You get the difference? Ang sagot ng bata po dito sa pre-operation ay, which is more, the dogs or the animals? Dogs ang sagot niya. Because he is not capable of thinking that dogs can be under inclusion. Kaya nga class inclusion a bigger idea. So para sa kanya, dogs. Okay? So they are not capable of that yet. In that manner, inclusion, a child at this age cannot think that for example, my son, the mommy, can also be the baby of my mommy. Nasabay. Hindi ka pwedeng baby ni Lola. Ako lang ang baby at ikaw ay mommy ko. Okay? Because that is class inclusion. Okay? He does not know it yet. And then, what is transitive interference? Example. Okay, look. If her hair is shorter than, her hair, hindi pwede. Okay, sandali. Her hair is shorter than her hair. Pero dapat, if A has shorter hair than B, and B has shorter hair than C, who has the shortest hair? Very good. Hindi na kayo pre-operations. Okay? You get it? That is transitive interference. Huwag ka muna umalis. Ibig sabihin, the child, Monty, at that age, is not capable of answering that. He cannot deduce that if A is less than B, and B is less than C, therefore, A is less than C. They lack transitive interference. Okay? Thank you, my models, the Binibining Pilipinas models. Okay. But let me also highlight that here at the concrete operations, they also cannot understand this yet. Do you realize that is like an algebra problem? Right? Okay. So here, they are still learning to understand this. They are on their way. Okay, so if we compare the pre-operation child, Monty, age 2 to 7, that's pre-operations, compared to elementary, ito na po. Okay? From egocentrism, they now move on. They can now see the viewpoints of others. They realize that there is another viewpoint other than theirs. Okay? From centration, they can now decenter. Okay? They can understand more than one attribute. From irreversible thought, they can now reverse. That's why they will say, talaga namang mas marami, pareho lang yung dami ng tubig nang yan eh. Okay? Also, from intuitive thought, they move on to dynamic thought. And from lack of conservation, they show conservation. Class inclusion, they can now understand. But transitive interference, they are still learning that. Now, so why do we have to know this? Because that has impact on what we teach. Do you realize that? What we teach, how we teach young children would be determined by this. That is why sometimes, whatever way you teach them, they cannot get it. Like that example of my son. Mamanong, I cannot see where did the 8 go. I cannot see it, therefore I cannot count up. Okay? That child does not have the capacity to represent things mentally. Everything has to be concrete. Okay, so these are the characteristics. Now, let's move on to learning is reaction. Let's quickly move to the behaviorist theory. You're familiar with the behaviorist? Ano bang natutunan natin sa behaviorism? Good. There's a stimulus, there's a response. Therefore, the implication is reinforcement theory. As teachers, we need to give reinforcement. When? Kailan? Immediately. Immediately. Because they will know if they are right or if they are wrong. Then they will be able to adjust their understanding or try to understand it better. So the concepts of immediate feedback and programmed learning come from this theory. What does programmed learning mean? And we do this. You program it like games. Lahat siguro tayo alam natin ang games. Level 1 to level 10. It's programmed. Level 1 is easier than level 2. You move up. So in our instruction, that's how it should be. We start from the easiest, simple. We move up one notch at a time. Okay. This is an example of an immediate feedback activity. What does that show? The child is just holding cardboards or yung iba kasi kaya nila, meron silang maliit na blackboard eh. Okay, sa atin, anong ginagamit nyo? Nasusulatan nila yon, nabubura. Okay, or magic slate, kung ano man. So what is 3 plus 4? Then, they put up their cards. Correct? And then, this child who has a wrong answer, I need to give immediate feedback. Kasi baka sagot siya ng sagot, kala niya tama bilang niya. Okay? This is another way of immediate feedback. Is 3 plus 4 equal to 7? Yes or no? It's just a simple card. When can we use this? For independent activity, this is perfect. Correct? Because it's individuals answering. Okay. Do you do this in the classroom? Do your teachers do this? Okay. So, this one is a multiple choice card. For grade 3, you can use this. Look at that. You just have the 4 operations on the 4 corners of a board. They bring that board every day. If at grade 3, you're learning already the 4 operations, what's the missing symbol? Okay, then you can give immediate feedback. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng immediate feedback? Immediate feedback sa bata, may kabuluhan ba yun sa akin? Yes, because that is assessment. That is monitoring, assessment, and you monitor progress. Then I know, sige, extra activity. Siya, parating chumachamba. Ang galing chumamba. Okay? So, extra activity. Okay. Now, information processing. What is its place here in learning math? Okay? It just tells us how do we encode. Lahat po tayo may kanya-kanyang paraan. Isipin niyo yung sarili niyo ngayon. How do you process information? Example. Kunwari, may homework ako sa inyo ngayong gabi. O, bigyan ko kayong handouts ha. it's one chapter of a book that we will talk about tomorrow, because tomorrow our topic is integration of disciplines. Okay? So I was able to get a very good chapter. I want you to read it. Okay. Anong uri kayo ng mag-aaral or as a learner? Pupuntahan nyo ba agad yung huli, yung summary? Basahin nyo ba agad yung overview? O page by page, babasahin mo? Sino doon yung babasahin agad yung summary? Sino ang babasahin niya? Gusto niya sunod-sunod. What kind of learner are you? I'm sure you are one of those. Meron kang babasahin. Puro naman kasi, ano bang binabasa nyo? Puro pahayagan. Puro pahayagan. Okay, anyway, let's say you're reading. Alin kayo? Gusto ko munang mabasa ang overview, summary? O gusto nyo, basta gusto ko sunod-sunod. In sequence ko mababasahin. Okay. Ulitin ko ha. Sino ang magbabasa muna ng overview o kaya summary? Kasi gusto ko ganun eh. Okay. Ayan. Sino yung gusto niya? Basta sunod-sunod ko babasahin page by page. Sa pagtaas niyo po ng kamay, sinabi niyo kung paano kayo magproseso. Ano ang mas gusto niyo? Ako kasi, ako yung kailangan ko ng buong larawan. I need a summary. I'm that kind of learner. I have friends, wala pong mali at walang mali at tama, ha? It's your style. It's the way you process. Okay? So, but I will still read it. But I need an overview. I need a whole picture. In other words, I want to see the forest. I don't like to see trees one at a time and later see the forest. I want a whole picture. In that sense, alin ang mas gusto nyong sagutin? Ito? Pasensya na po sa halimbawa. Okay. Circle the correct coins or you will draw the coins. This is 1. This is 2. Alin ang mas gusto nyong sagutan kung naalala niyo pa nung bata kayo? 1 or 2? Show with your fingers, 1 or 2. Go. 1. Karamihan sa atin, 1. Okay. Meron din kasing iba, ito. Ako minsan yung isa, mas madalas yung isa, pero gusto ko rin naman to nung bata ako. Now, your answer again depends on how you process it. So, kung ito yung sagot nyo, ano kayang klase kayo ng learner? Ang tawag sa inyo ay field dependent. Bakit? Intindihan nyo lang ibig sabihin ng field tsaka dependent. Ibig sabihin, field. You depend on the field. You want the whole picture. It's the same with those who wanted the summaries, the overviews. You are field dependent. Okay? Whereas, if you want to, okay, look, what does it say? You want to see the whole before the parts. You want to see the forest, not just the trees. Okay? You look for patterns to break down the whole. Okay? Now, if this is your answer, diba, it's field independent. Why? Because you don't see everything there. There's something missing. Therefore, it's field independent. So, if that is your answer, the way you process information is successive. Gusto nyo sunod-sunod, nabubuo ang magandang larawan, one at a time, because you make sense of the parts. As you build the part, you see the whole. That's why you call it successive, one after the other. In contrast to, ano yung kanina? Simultaneous. Okay? So maganda rin, okay, I asked you to look at yourself because our students have their own way of processing. Again, not one is correct. Not one is wrong. But it will assist you give the right form of activity or assessment. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, look. This is A. What will you do here? There is 12. There is 4. you encircle all the correct number sentence that will give you that sum. Dito naman, anong pinapagawa? Answer. Okay? Hindi na yung sarili natin iisipin natin, ha? But let's look at the terms. Field-dependent and field-independent. Sinong makakasagot nito na bata? Ang field-dependent o ari ng field-independent na gawain? Ito muna. Ano to? Isa lang narinig kong sumasagot. Pakalakas. Ito. Anong tawag dito? Okay. Very good. Why do you call that field-dependent? Because everything is there. Everything, you find everything there. The field, you depend on the field, you can answer this better. Field-independent, okay lang, I will complete it. There's something missing. Now, let's try this one. Here, I want you to write the number from 1 to 64 rather. Then I want you to see if there are patterns in the numbers. Here, what I want you to do, I want you to look at this chart. What patterns do you see? What patterns do you see with the 4? With the 8s? Okay? What addition combinations can you make here? Okay. So, which is field-dependent and field-independent? Ito po, ano tong una? Very good. Field-independent because there are missing things there. So, what is the use of this? We don't know which ones they are, right? So, what will we do? We need to provide both kinds of activities. We need to give them, because if you look at this, I think mostly this is what we do, correct? Tama ba ako? Look for the sum, look for the difference, write it. Correct? That would cater to those who are field independent. Maybe some of our students will perform in the assessment differently if we use these kinds of activities. So I am looking now at who is the child, how do they learn, and also assessment forms. These are different forms of assessment aside from activities. Okay, so I will leave that now. So what I just want you to remember there is we have to provide both. Now let's go to learning as a process. We also go to learning styles. Alam naman natin yung learning style. Okay? But I will just focus on the perceptual factors. That's very broad, actually. And we can use many applications of learning styles when we teach math. But I would just like to focus for now for the 3, visual, auditory, tactile. Some learners in our classroom are so visual. Some are so auditory. What do most teachers provide? Lalo pag talk and chalk. Visual, because they see us, they see the blackboard, and auditory, they just have to listen to us. They have no choice. Right? So a talk and chalk teacher, a teacher who always talks and talks and talks, will be providing visual auditory. Tactile, we need to provide them concrete materials to work on so they can develop the tactile. Pwede pa nga kinesthetic. Ano yung kinesthetic? Movement. May mga estudyante kayong ganon, yung mas bata. Diba? Talagang kailangan mo lang silang pagalawin. Okay? So, in learning styles, I want you to also think about the sociological. Some students work best alone, some by pairs, some by groups. Think about that. We are so into collaborative learning, correct? But please acknowledge that some children cannot work in groups. Naka-encounter na kayong ganon? Ako meron ganon eh. Hanggang paglaki niya. Lagi na lang siyang sinusumbong ng kaklase niya. Ibig ba sabihin, mali siya? Not necessarily. Pero baka ang learning style nga niya, individual worker ako eh. I am not a team player. Hindi nga siya talaga team player. Kasi sinusumbong siya eh. Okay? So, there. Now, this would be, I will skip that. Okay. The perceptual factors, they learn by seeing or by hearing or by touching, tactile. Okay? Some would work well under time pressure. Some are so relaxed. Bell na, hindi pa tapos. Okay? Di ba, meron din tayong estudyante, kahit sabihin mong, last 5 minutes, talagang walang sense of urgency. Di ba? Merong iba, ganun lang talaga. Meron namang iba, teacher, tapos na ako. Ikaw sabi ng review eh. Babalik mo pa. Di ba? Now, some will work best using movement, but some would rather just be there and sit down. Okay? That is just telling us that we have to know all this so we can vary our instruction. And another thing that we want to look at is, learning is a process. So anyway, Gardner is still alive and kicking and he has his 9 intelligences. May kaugnayan ba to sa math? Okay. Pasensyahan na po, 9 intelligences yan, pero ang aking pi ay 8 kasi mahirap maghati sa siyam. Okay. Anyway, what does the 9 intelligences tell us? Okay. Some, kahit kayo, isipin nyo saan kayo dyan. Are you word smart? Are you good in talking? Some are not good in talking but are good in writing. And you could still be word smart. Okay? Are you logic smart? You have very good logic. Are you picture smart? You make sense. You're good in drawing, illustrations, design. You can visualize. You can picture things. Are you body smart? Hindi ibig sabihin magaling kang kumapa ng bodies, okay? Body smart, I move well with my body. Kanina po, maraming mahuhusay sumayaw. You have the rhythm, the coordination. Okay, body smart. Nature smart. Ano ibig sabihin ng nature smart? They love nature. They understand nature so much. Okay? They have like an affinity with nature. Music smart. Yung mga hindi umaalis sa videoke, tulad ni Ma'am Rose. Ayan, music smart yan. Okay? So, you're good in music. Maybe you're not a very good singer. You're good in composing, writing notes, playing an instrument. Or, are you people smart? There are some people who are just very good with dealing with others. Okay, ito yung mga politician. Okay, ma-PR. Okay? There's also self-smart. It doesn't mean that if you're people smart, you're self-smart. Self-smart is knowing and understanding yourself. Being highly reflective, aware where you are, your strengths, your weaknesses. Therefore, you can develop very well. Or maybe not also. Okay. Alam naman natin ang ibig sabihin ng spiritual person, di ba? Nandun sila sa realm na ganon. It's not being just self-smart. It's different. You get it? Because there are some self-smart people whose intelligence is not really in the spiritual realm. Okay. So, what is the good of knowing this in my teaching of math or in teaching reading also? Ano bang implikasyon nito? Alam niyo bang sinabi ni Gardner tungkol dito? Sabi ni Gardner, ito yung prinsipyo niya. Lahat daw tayo ay meron niyang siyam na yan. All of us, we are born with the 9 intelligences. Ito pa yung maganda. Nag-isip akong mabuti nung binabasa ko tong pangalawang to. Sabi niya, because we are all capable of developing it to the maximum. Pero meron siyang if. If we are given the opportunities to develop it. So what is this? What is the implication of all this? It means, how do you develop your students? You give them opportunities for everything. So that in your lesson, you allow them, even if your lesson is math, pwede ba tong lahat ng to? Lesson ko ay math. Word smart. Okay. I want you to create word problems with this equation. That's word smart. Right? Think of stories that will show multiplication, that will show division. Logic smart. Oo, kasi ang math logic yon, di ba? Trying to find out patterns. Can it be picture smart when we talk about math instruction? Yes, visualize, draw. This is one thing that I'm very amazed at about Singapore math. You have heard Singaporean math, right? Ang husay po ng visualization development. Nagulat ako talaga. Hindi ko akalain ang isang grade 1 ay makaka-solve ng algebra problem by drawing. Sabi ko, sige nga, panoorin ko nga. Tingnan ko yung Singaporean math na yan. Aba, na-solve. Grade 1. Siyempre, hindi naman yung if x equals blank and y equals blank. Hindi po ganon. But if you analyze the problem that they were given, it is an algebra problem. And what does Singaporean math do? It strongly develops visualizing, drawing the problem. How will you show it in a drawing form? Okay? So if we develop that really well, it's a tool for understanding math concepts. Okay. So body smart, ito na. Body smart. Do you think that will work? Do you think that will work better? Because the way I learned that multiples lesson, listing. That's how my teacher taught that to me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 3, 6, 10. Bibilugan mo lahat ng magkakapareho. Ganon ako tinuruan. Pero nung natutunan ko to, okay, natutuwa ako kasi yung mga estudyante, nakikinig. Nag-iisip. Kasi gusto mo, hindi ka magkamali. Parang kayo ngayon. Di ba? Yung iba, ay, mali. Ibig sabihin, nag-isip ka. Or kumopya ka sa katabi mo. Okay? Pero nag-isip ka. Okay, so, what the 9 intelligences is telling us is that we have to incorporate activities that address each one. So, that is body smart. Nature smart. Paano yung nature smart? You allow them to use things in the environment that will make them understand the math concept better. Okay, yes, you can bring them out. Look at what pattern do you see outside. Okay, let us pick up stones. Then you can use the stones and the leaves for your lessons. Okay, nature smart. Or, what if it's music smart? Sometimes I have students who sing. They just sing. Yung isa ko pong anak, mahilig yun kumanta ng bata, nung maliit pa siya, yung my middle son. Okay? So, kanta lang siya ng kanta. Minsan yung kinakanta niya, yung lesson pala niya sa preschool. Okay? Kasi hindi ko naman tinuro. Wala naman akong alam na narinigan na niya ng ganon. Okay? Pero hindi ko po masabing music smart siya kasi hindi ko nga nabigyan ng oportunidad. Okay? Sabi ko pa sa kanya, anak naman, gabi na, hinaan mo naman ang pagkanta mo. Sabi niya, Mama Nong, pag hininaan ko, hindi ko naririnig ang sarili ko. Kaya dapat malakas ako kumanta. Okay, so yun ang sagot ng aking anak. So anyway, he was showing me at an early age that he likes to sing. So maybe if I just allow him, he will be using that as an avenue to learn. Okay? Then we have people smart. So what do we do? If that is the skill of students, make them do group work, learning math concepts. Paano yung self-smart sa math? Yes, individual work. Journal. How did I learn this concept today? I learned it better when I started putting sticks or tallying marks. That is understanding. That is meta-cognitive. Understanding how I learn. Knowing how I think. Okay, that's self-smart. And word smart, we're done. And then, existential. We are done with the first part of our target for today. This is the summary of everything we discussed. So, if we look at this screen, what is it saying? These are all theories that should inform us how we should teach children. That they are highly constructivist. They construct learning, but even if they construct learning, we have to go by where they are. They go through stages where they need to act before they understand pictures and symbols. And scaffolding through our assistants is very, very useful. We have the stages of Piaget. We understand already what are their characteristics at the pre-operations and concrete operations. We know that we have to program learning from easy to simple, and we have to give immediate feedback. Provide enough for all of this. Look at this. Learning is a process. Therefore, what do? Make sure we address all of that. How? Varied activities that address field and independent learners. Provide varied activities, not just chalk and talk lessons. Address the 9 intelligences. Use them in teaching math lessons. All right. So, good job. Okay, everybody pat yourself. Very good.